Hold up. How much are hospitals being paid for COVID patients? So, in case you guys didn't know, and I always like to share news with you because it's important to be updated on current events and know what is happening with the world, with the virus, and with the economy. So, in an interview recently with Laura Ingraham, Minnesota Republican Senator Scott Jensen, and by the way, he's also a doctor, divulged some things that I honestly didn't know about COVID patients and about hospitals. So in this interview, he said that hospitals are receiving $13,000 per COVID patient, right? Non-critical. And get this, the critical patients, the ones on a respirator, are receiving $40,000 per patient. Hospitals are receiving $40,000 per patient for patients on a respirator.
What do you say to Dr. Fauci tonight?
Well, I would remind him that anytime healthcare intersects with dollars, it gets awkward. Right now, Medicare has determined that if you have a COVID-19 admission to the hospital, you'll get paid $13,000. If that COVID-19 patient goes on a ventilator, you get $39,000, 3 times as much.
Now, I understand that there are medical costs associated for caring for these people, right? That's the most important thing, caring for them, and obviously we need to care for them. But $13,000 for a non-critical patient, $40,000 just to be put on a ventilator. If you say they're only on the ventilator for half a day, they get $40,000. Now, to me, there's a little bit of a conflict of interest. Wouldn't you agree? The business, essentially hospitals are businesses, the business that is admitting and classifying the patients are receiving money based on that classification. That seems a little bit like a conflict of interest, I'm not going to lie. That's like an IRS agent doing an audit for himself, right? Like, he could put whatever he wants. He could do anything, and how are they going to check him? How are they going to know? There's no way to, oh my gosh. So hospitals, right, according to Dr. Jensen, hospitals are being encouraged to classify patients as COVID victims. No surprise there. If I owned a hospital, oh my gosh, man, every single person coming in would be a COVID patient. Oh, you have a slight temperature? COVID. That's the corona right there. Got the rona. You were playing soccer and you broke your leg. Oh, yeah, I know you broke your leg playing soccer, but you have corona. You have a fever? Corona. You got that corona.
My next guest is a doctor and state senator in Minnesota who is deeply troubled by the CDC's latest guidance for counting COVID deaths. Dr. Scott Jensen joins me now. Doctor, I want to read for our viewers what the CDC says in part about how to count COVID deaths relating to that last issue we just raised. In cases where a definite diagnosis of COVID cannot be made, but is suspected or likely, like the circumstances are compelling with a reasonable degree of certainty, it is acceptable to report COVID-19 on a death certificate as probable or presumed.
How ridiculous is that? Okay? And again, let me clarify. I think COVID patients should be taken seriously and they need the care, right? They need to be cared for. But you gotta have some kind of check and balance with this, right? So this is part of the stimulus package. I didn't know this, that hospitals are receiving this 13, and it's actually a little bit more than 13,000. It's like 13,200, and it's like 40,000, 40,100-ish for the ventilator patients. Like, I had no idea that was part of the stimulus package. So let's just run some numbers real quick. Let's say, I know it's a little bit more than that, but right now, let's say the cases in the United States are at 800,000 total, okay? 800,000 times $13,000 is $10 billion. $10 billion, okay? And that's only going to go up, right? That's only going to increase. It seems like a small thing compared to like the small business loans, for example, that are 340 billion plus another 300 billion or whatever they did recently. Seems like chump change. But we're still talking in the billions here to a business that can choose whether or not to classify patients for the COVID-19. Here's another perspective. So if you take just, let's say 10% of cases are critical, so need a respirator for however long they're on the respirator, 800,000, 10%, 80,000, okay? 80,000 times, what did I say, 40,000 is $3 billion, something like that. $3 billion. So we're talking about a lot of money. And we're talking about a big conflict of interest. And it's money that, really nobody can check on. Nobody can check to see whether or not the COVID patients they're marking down actually have the COVID or not. There's no way of knowing. I just think it's ridiculous, man. I gotta be honest. With you, right? I mean, nobody else. Do any of you see it like that? Do any of you see just a little bit like, Imagine you're, an owner of the hospital. You're gonna be putting memos out like crazy. Like, make sure if they have any symptom, if they have any tiny symptom that could be the coronavirus, classify it as coronavirus because cha-ching, cha-ching. I mean, it's crazy, man. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. I didn't know if you knew this or not. I didn't, so I thought maybe a lot of other people don't know this, but I wanted to share it out. I wanted to put it out there and let you know, okay? Just so you know. Hospitals are receiving a large amount of money for every COVID victim, right? Every COVID patient. And, part of the stimulus, they say, is because of the loss of standard procedures, elective procedures that hospitals can't do. This money is to help make up for that, and I understand. I understand completely. But, I mean, come on. Every business is suffering, right? Almost every business. Some are thriving. Some businesses are doing great, and they're thriving off of this. But some businesses are suffering. But knowing how much hospitals charge us, I mean, and they get paid by insurance, it's not just coming out of their own pocket. I mean, I don't know, what do you want me to say? I don't know what to say. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what your comments are down below. Tell me, do you think it's right that hospitals are being paid for COVID victims? Do you think there might be a small, just a tiny conflict of interest? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, hit that like button if you liked the video, and please subscribe to the channel. Show me some support here. Thanks for watching. As always, those are my thoughts exactly. Catch you next time. Bye. Just so you know.